if your generator still runs like mine was, you just can't take it off a choke without it dying. Go ahead and leave it on full choke, put a load on it, run it completely out of gas. That way you save yourself a mess when you're taking the carburetor apart. If it won't run at all, then you're probably gonna have to drain the gas out of the top, or after you open this up, you can drain it out of the bottom from the bottom of the carburetor. That just makes a bigger mess. So if you can, it is definitely best to run out of gas before you do this. All right, first thing we gotta do is get access in here. I want to take these two screws out. And as I'm doing this, I would just say that if you are experiencing some surging while it's running normal, it's probably running lean. And if it's running lean, that can cause motor problems in the long run. So you definitely want to get it taken care of. There we go. These just slide into these little grooves on the bottom, and then you've got these little things that stick in there like that. So here we are with the cover off, and what we're going to do is, this is the carburetor right here, this whole piece, and we're going to take the bowl off, and that's going to give us access to the main jet. If you see this bolt right here on the underside, that looks like a 10 millimeter to me. We're going to take that off. This whole bowl is going to drop down. That will give us access to the main jet. There's a lot of things you can do as far as cleaning a carburetor out, but 99% of the time, it's going to be your main jet that's causing this issue. So let's go ahead and get to that. A small amount of fuel will probably leak out, so I just happen to cut a soda can, and I'm going to stick it right there, and that'll catch whatever gas drops in here. Broke it loose. As expected, a few drips of fuel. All right, I let that drain out. Here's the plug, which also holds the bowl on. Maybe a teaspoon of fuel came out. Really almost nothing. So I'm gonna go ahead and wiggle this and get this loose. Now there is one thing that's in the way. This black hose right here goes and wraps underneath there, and it gets stuck on that. So go ahead and take this loose right here. You can just use a pair of pliers to pinch this clamp and move it back off of there. Just a helpful trick. If you have one of these that are stuck, the best thing to do is to get and push under it like that. You can see now it's broken loose because it kind of like seals itself after a while. Now it'll come off easy. Now that that rubber line is off and out of the way, we're going to pull it down just so it gets out of our way down here. This hose, the one coming from here, is not connected to anything. It's just a drain hose if you wanted to open that up and drain it. So this will come down. And there we go. Bowl's a little dirty. It's really not bad. So spray that out with some carb clean, brake clean, but that's not going to be the problem. The problem is the main jet, which is inside of there right now. So what we're going to do is run our jet drill bit right in there and make sure it's open all the way. I'm sure you've seen me with this little kit before. We're going to do a 74 and see how that sizes up in here. Got our little 74 drill bit here, and that is definitely smaller than the hole. So we're going to grab a 73 and try it. Before I actually do it, I'm going to try to get you a view inside. And there you go. That right there is the jet, that little brass insert. And I'm going to use 69 jet size, which is going to be tricky to position myself to get it up in here with one hand, but I think I can. Oh, there it goes, yep. And I can feel that that is snug. I'm not trying to remove any material, I'm just trying to open that hole up. So I'm just going to spin the drill bit by my fingers like this. And there we go. It should be nice and clear now. See if it shows anything. There's a few specks of dirt on there, but not much. But you're really not going to see much unless you take the whole jet out and look at it over a piece of paper. You're really not going to notice the difference in the hole. I'm going to go ahead and put everything back together, and believe it or not, that little just going like that is going to completely fix the issue. It's not going to surge anymore. As I said before, you could really get picky and micromanage this repair process right here, but it really doesn't need it. Really, 99% of the time, it's just the main jet that needs to be cleaned. If we wanted to clean everything, we have to take the air filter off, take these hoses off, take these bolts off, pull everything out, clean it separately, and then reassemble it all. You can pull the jet out completely. But again, 99% of the time, it's just that jet. And this has probably taken me 5 minutes, well, probably 10 minutes with video in it. But you can have this done in 5 minutes. You can have it done if you're camping. If you just have this drill bit set with you in a basic toolkit, and you can have everything running again perfectly. I've got the bolts back in there. I'm going to tighten this up, and there we go. Put my little black hose back. It does have a little clip back here. It goes into this hole right here. It's just a very simple squeeze clip. There it is. That's back on. Clamp is back. Also note while you're doing this, there are very little holes in the bottom of this, and you want these to go out of the bottom, if you can see them right there. That way, if there's a fuel leak of some sort, it sends it out through the bottom of the unit instead of being in here where it can cause an explosion. And there we have it. All right, moment of truth.